great to be supporting such a great cause. Stand up for hope. We need a lot of hope right now, a lot for our country. You know, we love Palm Beach. We love Palm Beach because it's the home of me. And this is a great crowd, by the way. I would say, what would you say? There's like 50,000 people here? Of course, the fake news will never report that because they're fake. But real America's voice, that's the real news. That's the real news, okay?
I love it. That was good, right?
We should have him as part of it. We should have that one little Real America's Voice is the Real News part in our intro.
Oh, we could.
When we make our new intro.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that was a clip, just a highlight, one of many from last year's Stand Up for Hope. That was comedian Josh Rosen. He was fantastic. He gave so many impressions. Like you say, I'm good. No.
Oh, you are so good.
No, I don't know.
You are so
He
good.
did Biden, too. We'll have to play that. Like, hold on to that, Jason, because I want to get Gina's, her thoughts on that, because President Biden's really, really, really spot on. So, Stand Up for Hope is coming up next week, Thursday, May 18th at the Improv in West Palm Beach, Florida. Why are we mentioning it to you if you don't live in Florida? Because guess what? There are virtual tickets. This is a big deal. It's going to be huge. It is a big deal. It's an awesome, awesome comedy event. Like, we need some good laughs. I mean, it has been hard-hitting year. Some of you really, really down. I mean, Gina just was crying at the top of the show.
Because I stuck my finger in a lemon and then put my contact in. That's not recommended, by the way. Eliminate the doctor part now, right? But you know, the really cool thing that I love about this, Miranda, before we get to your guests, is that our guests is that that you take something that is so sad and so heartbreaking and becoming an ever-present problem in our culture, and you find a way to lighten everybody's day by putting on such a great event like this. So many of the other activities you do all the time. I know every night I talk to Miranda after the show. She's going to this suicide prevention thing. She's going to speak at this thing. She's working. She's walking the walk, right? Oh. And she actually even wrote 2 amazing books. The latest is Blue Discovers Floorland, and both of them are absolutely delightful. My daughters and I, we love them so much. My daughters are obviously too old for me to read the books too, but it doesn't stop us because we love Miranda, we love her heart. You can see it in this. If you don't have your copies, get your copies of her amazing book. And the cutest thing that you've ever seen is that Miranda actually goes and dresses up like these little fairies and reads them for suicide prevention. We have some pictures and videos, though, and this is extremely special. Miranda, I'm supposed to intro this, but I'm actually going to have you intro this because you just found these videos, and I can't even imagine. You and I didn't have time. We were so busy yesterday here, then Mar-a-Lago, and we didn't have a chance really to talk about the emotional impact on you, but you found these amazing videos of your beloved sister, who's your inspiration for every single bit of what I just said.
Yeah, so you're seeing her there on the screen. So Stand Up for Hope, again, is an improv comedy event. We're going to get to that in just a moment, but all the proceeds for that charity event are going to benefit suicide prevention, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Again, that's video that I found of my sister, who I lost to suicide in May of 2016. Actually, next week it will be 6 years. And so I was looking for a video because I was like, there's got to be some video, and I found it. And I was hosting this show at a local cable access channel, and I needed a model. And so I asked her to do it because clearly she had the figure for it. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So the book, if you could just watch it for the first time, but the book was actually her inspiration. It was something that she aspired to do, was to be a children's book author. So when I lost her, I finished the book. And now I'm on the second book, and we're going to be donating copies of the new book. You can buy them for donation at the event to benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
And I just want to mention our audience loves that she's carrying a USA bag back in 2016.
Isn't that cool?
As if she were trying to connect to where we are today, Miranda.
Right? How appropriate is that? And that's when I want to welcome in our guest. helping me because I can't do this alone. I want to welcome in Damiann Bilotta. She is the founder and president of the Forever Frosty Foundation.
That's
and a
right.
good friend and a hard worker and part of the committee here for Stand Up for Hope. Also with us, Sue Rosenstock, Medanic, co-founder of You Matters, and also on the committee for Stand Up for Hope, and just incredible women.
I can tell already, and
Yes.
I've just gotten to know them over the break. Incredible,
I know,
incredible
right?
women. I would love personally, and I think the audience probably feels this way too. I'd love to hear each of your stories nutshelled for us, just for the sake of television. And we'd love to hear the long version too, but we don't have time for that. So, can you tell us what your inspiration is?
Well, I lost my son to suicide November 11th of 2014, and it was a shock.
Yeah.
Asher was a very happy child, teenager, girlfriend, was popular, and then one day he wasn't here. So I've said this story so many times, I feel like I'm fumbling over it now. It's been almost 9 years, and it could feel like yesterday.
Yeah.
It can feel like it was years ago. It's always there. It's always a hole in my heart. But this goes back to like our whole reason why I'm here is to talk about our show that we're going to have coming up. You have to laugh in life. You have to move forward.
Right.
There's plenty of times to be sad. And the thing is, like with suicide, I always say suicide is not sexy, which means that no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
But if you have an event like this, a comedy show, it has nothing to do about suicide or loss. It's about positive things.
Right.
And then the proceeds go to help the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Yeah. Right.
So there's a lot of bonuses to it. So
Yeah, and you don't have to be impacted by suicide to go to this event. I mean, you're going to be joining us. I mean, just a comedy event, and you're making a difference, right? You get a good laugh.
Well, and we all are impacted by suicide. Just knowing you, I'm so impacted. I've lost other friends to suicide. I think almost all of us have been touched by suicide.
Absolutely.
And even if you haven't personally, our veterans are suiciding at a higher rate than ever.
22 a day.
So we have all been touched by suicide. But yeah, Sue, want to hear your story as well.
Hi, thanks for having me on. Great to see everybody again. I lost my son, Evan. He was 16 years old, and like Damiann, he was a happy person, and he was popular, basketball star, and one day he was also gone, and it was a shock to all of us. In fact, it was such a shock that his friends actually started an organization in his memory called You Matter, because they felt that Evan was the kid who went to everybody when they needed to know that they mattered and they had issues or problems, that they could talk to him, and that if they stood in front of him that day and said, "You matter," it may have changed the course of his day. So the work that I do now is really to benefit others and to help prevent and stop suicide, because we do know that it is preventable. And what I say in my journey is that the load on me doesn't get any lighter, the heaviness, but my shoulders get stronger. And things that make me stronger are things like this event, where I can go and laugh and really feel like I have a purpose for being there that's going to help others. And Evan actually loved to laugh, so it really works out well with who he was, and he would be proud of, very proud. He is proud of this event.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
And actually, I've mentioned, Sue, to you before, for our viewers, those little black labels that you see on, warning this could cause suicidal thoughts.
Oh, right, yes.
Sue's instrumental in making those appear on boxes because she lost her son to suicide because it was a medication that really could be bad and dangerous for teenage boys. So it's because of her you've already made a big difference. That's how amazing you are. Yeah. So, I appreciate both of you. This is our third year. I can't believe we've been doing this for 3 years. But it just keeps getting bigger and better. And I want people to know that even though you're not here, right, that you can still get a virtual ticket and make a difference. And again, we're going to have the books there. It's going to be a fun night. We have 3 amazing stand-up comedians.
They are funny.
They're funny, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't
locals
wait.
too, so it's it makes it cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Right.
Tell us, if you can, whoever wants to comment on this, because I'm curious. What do you all do with the money? I heard what Sue does with her foundation, those labels. That's incredibly
Right.
powerful. I love that kind of stuff. It's just so people know, because maybe they want to contribute even if they can't come, or they want to
Sure.
attend virtually. What does the money go to exactly?
So both of them, I just want to clarify this. So, because we like staying busy, right? There's never enough to do. Damiann has her own organization, non-for-profit, called Forever Frosty. That's in honor of her son. Sue, her son's friends created an organization called You Matter, and there are chapters all over the country, and it's spreading like wildfire. They're in high schools and college, and it was them that wanted to make a difference. But together, and Sue is on the board with me for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which is a completely different organization that has chapters all across the country in every single state. And so they're the longest and oldest organization and biggest when it comes to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. But we don't care about the labels. We just want to help.
Right. It all goes to the same
It all
pot.
goes towards the same thing. So it
Absolutely.
goes towards research. It goes towards education. And Sue, go ahead, help me out real quick. We got 10 seconds.
They are the largest issuers of research and suicide prevention in the country. And
Right.
they also provide programs for loss survivors like myself and Damiann. They provide suicide support for families, education, advocacy, which is really important because, as we know,
Right.
suicide has no discrimination. It affects everybody just the same. And
Just like Gina said, we're going to have to leave it there, Sue. I'm sorry I'm up against the clock, but I do appreciate your time because I want to make sure everyone knows where to go. So again, the third annual Stand Up for Hope, thank you, Damiann, is Thursday, May 18th. There's going to be comedians Carl Remy, Flip Schultz, and Stephanie Wood. You can find a link by going to blossomsoflowerland.com. We'll be right back.
2, 1.